Now, in other news, hundreds of thousands of people on France's Indian Ocean island of Reunion are under a strict lockdown this Monday as a major storm makes landfall there. Cyclone Belal has already left one person dead, and the eye of the storm is due to pass along the northern coast this afternoon. To discuss, our science editor Julia Seeger is with me. Julia, first of all, what is the current situation on the ground on the island?
Well, as you said, the eye of the cyclone moved in onto the island from the northwest while the French Overseas Department was in a violet alert. It's the highest level of alert that you can have with even emergency services that have to stay on lockdown. Now, violent winds reached more than 200 kilometers, especially in the center of the island, this mountainous region that deprived 130,000 households of electricity, 37,000 households of water, and, of course, triggering important floods. Now, it is a very important cyclone indeed, but it's much less devastating than feared, because at first it was believed that it was really going to rip through the entire island from end to end, and thankfully the trajectory deviated and it's now on its way towards Mauritius. Now it has followed the coast, the northern coast here and the eastern coast. So here we're talking about a classical tropical storm. I'm talking about a cyclone because of where it's happening in the world. It's in the Indian Ocean, but if it happens, for instance, in the Northwest Pacific, it's called a hurricane, and if it happens in the Southwest Pacific, it's called a typhoon, but actually all three terms refer to the same exact phenomenon. So what exactly happens? Well, when the sea surface reaches 26 degrees Celsius, and if that happens over the depth of 50 meters, what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of water that's going to evaporate at once, and because of the rotation of the Earth, it's going to start swirling, and as that continues, it's going to feed more and more vapor into that spiral and become more powerful. Now, in the center, we have what we call the eye of the cyclone. You often hear about that. Well, it actually extends from 30 to 60 kilometers in general in diameter, and there's actually no rain, no wind. It's very, very calm. Around it, you have the wall of the eye. There you have extremely violent winds. If it happens over the sea, then you're going to have waves of more than 20 meters high. So here you're going to see on the satellite picture, you see the eye of the storm in the middle there. That's Bilal, so going over the island. And here on this amateur footage of this user on X, you see you're in the midst of this thunderstorm, and then at once it's just going to stop. There you see it. There's nearly no wind, no rain, and the wind is actually going to resume in just a few minutes, and it's going to resume in a very intense manner, an abrupt manner, and often in opposite direction. And authorities tend to fear that exact moment because people tend to think that it's over. Now, as I said, Belal is now traveling towards Mauritius. There's already lots of flooding there because of the storm that's going towards it. Lots of scenes of chaotic scenes there, as you can see. We're in the streets of Port Louis there. Amateur footage, once again, shared on social media.
So we're talking about an intense tropical cyclone, Julia, and it's worth saying that actually is really quite rare. In Reunion, we haven't seen such a phenomenon since 1989.
Well, we've seen a cyclone in 2014, but not of this intensity. We haven't seen a very intense cyclone since, I'd say, 1989 with Faringa, and even more Jenny in 1962, and that really marked people there because it was very devastating indeed. What happened at the time was that there was few observation posts in the Indian Ocean that were capable of really reporting the position and the magnitudes. So you can really see how technology is now helping us predict and prepare for these environmental phenomena.
All right, thank you very much indeed. Julia Seeger, our science editor, for us there.